Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to David Vision. And I saw The Creator yesterday and did a video seeing people's reactions out of the premiere, which was opening night on Thursday. I mean, people gave this 10 out of 10s, 8.5 out of 10s. But yeah, The Creator, original sci-fi film by Gareth Edwards. I just want to go over like my little review and then some Oscar predictions I think of this film. And I was really excited for this film. This was a top 10 most anticipated film for 2023 on my vote. And I give this a solid 7.7 out of 10. I love the effort that Gareth Edwards gave for this sci-fi film, and I think it had a lot of really emotional points, and that was one thing that I took out from those audiences' reactions of like this being emotional, this being deep. And I definitely saw that dynamic when it came to the main character, John David Washington, and that AI little girl being like the primary weapon source of the AI side, or AI species they'd say in the film. And it delved into a lot of like thought-provoking thoughts of like, hey, should we be treating AIs as a certain like kind of entity itself, or should we be treating them as, you know, free individual kind of species on their own on this planet? And it's kind of weird because there's a sentiment around AI having a destructive type of element to it compared to humanity and whatnot. So I thought that was a really cool thing. And honestly, I didn't really know. I only read the synopsis a few times before the film, but I didn't really know it was kind of revolved around the romance between John David Washington's character and Gemma Chan's character. The story was kind of based upon that and him trying to feel that love again, even though, you know, something happened. I'm going to keep this spoiler free, but yeah, something happened between them, and it's kind of like a story revolved around that love, and which is really cool to see. But also with the AI figure you see in the trailer, that little girl, and that kind of dynamic with John David Washington, there was a few emotional moments that actually got a tear in my eye. So really appreciate movies that get a tear in my eye and really kind of go deep into the emotions of a person within family, within love, within different types of interests. And that's what I kind of want from films too. And I don't want it to be just action filled, full of comedy too, which is what like a lot of I guess Marvel films are now. But I wanted those like deep drama filled moments of really pure storytelling on film. So that's what I needed. I remember someone mentioned that it was kind of like an Avatar storytelling, literally to the T, and the destroying of someone's kind of culture and them hitting kind of the core piece of what that was for a specific people, and how that kind of destruction is impacting the nature of the plot itself. So it was kind of similar in that vein. I thought it was a bit rushed at points where I just wanted more perspective on each side, so kind of one narrative was kind of leaning towards the other in terms of, oh, who should we trust or who should we root for in the film. Maybe that would be cool, but again, it is a film and it is like under 2 hours, 2.5 maybe. But yeah, no, overall, I mean, it was a solid film. I think another key thing of this film that I loved, and I'll get to the Oscar predictions, but it's the visual effects. And you're just pulled into this world with the visuals and kind of the world building nature of it, with these wide span shots of like different cities. And this is in 2065 America, right? So we're talking about like political kind of instances into a futuristic aspect that are kind of happening in today's world. And so I think that kind of correlation of what we're seeing now and maybe what we could see in the future is definitely a plus in my book. And I love seeing that kind of dynamic relating to today and how we could see in the future there. But visuals is number one. But with that being said, you guys, let's move on to Oscar predictions. And this is a fairly short video because this hasn't been getting as much acclaim as one would think it would get. I think we're just going to jump straight to it. We are going to start with best visual effects, and I am going to hold this as the winner. This is going to be the number one, The Creator. So with Dune out the belt, it's moving to March 2024. The Creator jumps to number one. This is one of the best looking films I've seen in terms of like sci-fi relevant. I mean, first off the bat comes to Marvel movies, DC movies. This movie takes it out of the park when it's compared to those movies. So I'm going to do The Creator at number one. Gareth Edwards killed it off of this, so I really respect him for that. Honestly, like 2 through 5 can be tossed around in the belt. I'm gonna do Guardians of the Galaxy at number 2, just because it's a Marvel film, and we kind of see Marvel films, even multiple Marvel films, get nominated in the Oscars. So I'm gonna say Guardians. I'm gonna say Rebel Moon because of Zack Snyder and his kind of previous slate in that boat, which I think is fair. I mean, the trailer looks heavy in visual effects. Some instances where it needed to be kind of enhanced a bit, when the final product is there, but it has what, a month left, 2 months left till its release. So I'm gonna say Transformers Rise of the Beast, just because it's a Transformers film. And then one thing that I'm gonna just take a hair off of that I really want, and this is a bit biased, but Oppenheimer is my favorite film of the year, so I'm gonna say Oppenheimer at number 5, just because maybe the visual effects category can be lenient towards a practical heavy film where it's a lot of practical effects, right? Not really heavy in the post-production phase, but there's a lot of post-production needed right in those After Effects shots. So I think Oppenheimer does have a chance. And so with that, I think I predicted Oppenheimer with 11 nominations, but with visual effects I think it might be 12, and with Dune Out the Picture, Oppenheimer might get way more, so we'll see about Oppenheimer. But this is about the creator today, so we're just going to do creator at number 1 here. So he gets 1 win, which is a win in my book for original sci-fi. 1 win in my book. Let's go to the rest. So we have best sound. We're going to do Oppenheimer at number 1. Fantastic sound design revolving around the nuclear bomb and whatnot, with the scenes in the courtroom, and the sound design revolved around the score. I mean, those are 2 impeccable pieces of that film. So we're going Oppenheimer there. We're going to do Killers of the Flower Moon. Scorsese. Mr. Scorsese has a great slate of films with sound design component to it, so gotta respect him there. We have Ferrari, a car film, so I'd like to say it's there. I mean, the trailer had abundant amount of sound design towards it. I mean, it is just the car revving up their engines and whatnot, but hey, I think that's a win in my book, or a nomination in my book. We have The Killer, David Fincher film. This is just some ballpark range, but I'm gonna say The Killer just for the hell of it, and it's Fincher, so he has had like a great pass with it. Honestly, it's like all up the books in 4 and 5, but I think the creator has a slight edge in getting a nomination, just because when it comes to sci-fi films, and when it comes to explosions and enhancing different thoughts and gun shooting and blaster shooting, I think this definitely had a play in my overall experience in the theater. And I was actually in a Dolby theater, so I could hear all the score, all the sound design in an enhanced way than I would in a standard format experience in another theater. But overall, the creator was fantastic to watch, visually seeing, and then even the sound design portion made it a great experience overall. And then we're gonna do best score, and this is up for grabs, but Oppenheimer is definitely number 1. Ludwig, one of the best scores of all time. I'm still listening to it sometimes when I'm working, when I'm studying, so that's best score. We're gonna do Past Lives number 2, because I've heard that on the list on Gold Derby for sure. We're gonna do The Creator at number 3. I love this score. I mean, if you guys watched my Creator trailer reaction, the final trailer had beautiful score to it. I don't know what to say. Hans Zimmer just adds to a film in another way that I can't really explain. You could only hear it, literally. But yeah, he did an amazing job in this one, and with Dune Out the Picture again, it moves the creator up. So that's all I'm thinking about. Indiana Jones, you have Sir John Williams always getting a nomination, and yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon will probably get another one, just because it's going to be huge Oscar play this year, and so it's going to have like different original aspects to it, and I believe Score will be one of them, as Scorsese has had in the past. So not going to deny Killers of the Flower Moon here. I mean, it could be The Killer as well, with Fincher's go-to composers, so that might be one play as well. That's probably the runner-up. And that will do it for Oscar nominations. None of the acting really stands out as real plays. I'm gonna tell you guys, really, like, that the girl did a fantastic job of acting. Those kid actors shouldn't be taking you out of the film, and I don't think she does that. She really brings me in, and some of those emotional scenes, it got me teared up, like I said before, and it was really all her scenes with John David Washington that really hit me to a heart. We got 1 win, 3 nominations overall. That is a win in my book. And if it doesn't get a box office kind of recognition, hopefully it gets award nominations this year or 2024 Oscars. If you haven't checked out my out of theater audience reaction video, please check it out. It's a fun time. I love doing that. I love talking to people about upcoming films and what we could do for this art form. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.